We're a couple weeks into the season now, and I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on what's good, what's bad, what people are playing in solo shuffle, what people are playing in threes, what's been good, what we should nerf, what we should buff, etc., etc., etc. So in true Venruki fashion, we are once again going to be putting all the tank specs at D tier because tanks suck. All right. And if you play tank, I'm not saying you suck. I know it's a noble job, but in arena and PvP, it's just not that, it's not that lit. So all the tank specs are down in the Garbanzo bin. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we can start getting into it. What specs are the best? What specs are the worst? And we're going to do this in no particular order, okay? Actually, let's start off... You know what? We'll start off in the top left. Frosty K. I'm going to be very blunt and honest with this tier list, guys, okay? Frosty K is very gimmicky. I'm going to put it at B tier. I think it has a couple of comps that work, but overall, it's pretty garbanzo beans. I hate the design of Frosty K. I wish they would get a rework. It's one of my least favorite specs to play into. So it's going to go middle. We're going to put it right there with the Devastation Evoker, okay? So Devastation Evoker is going to go right there because it's the only comp that really works well together. However, I will say Devastation Evoker has leveled up a little bit in this world of wizards that we've been playing this season. The Devastation Evoker is actually leveled up. I think it works pretty well with a Warlock. I've seen it work decently well with a Shadow Priest, with an Ellie Shaman, with a Boomkin, with a Mage. Like you can kind of make Devastation work. I actually think it's more flexible than Frosty K, so I'll put it there. Okay. Unholy Death Knight, C tier. I haven't seen anybody really do well with Unholy Death Knight. Played against Pet Kick. He was playing Unholy Demon Hunter, but still, Unholy Death Knights just don't seem that threatening. Their survivability isn't that great. And though their one little gimmick actually got nerfed. So they had one gimmick that was okay, which was like the gripping skeletons in, or gripping people into the skeletons, but that got nerfed. So that was kind of like their burst, and it's just awkward. Moving forward, let's pick up the Havoc Demon Hunter. Havoc Demon Hunter, I would put at a solid A tier. I think it's pretty well rounded right now, and I do think it's a part of one of the best compositions in the game, which is that Boomkin Demon Hunter. I'd say Havoc Demon Hunter is very, very strong. I think there's lots of good comps for it. Feral Druid, I would say... I feel like I don't play against it that much. I swear, I don't know if it's that good or that bad or what, but I feel like I don't play against it that much. Yeah, maybe all the druids just went boomy. I think it could be okay, but we'll put it at B for now. It means nothing. It means something if you don't see them. Maybe it's like A tier. I feel like Feral could be A tier, to be honest with you, but maybe on the lower side of A tier. I think there's potential there. Restoration Druid seems... We'll do healers after. Boomkin. Boomkin is arguably the best spec in the game. It's going straight up to S tier. Its damage is very strong. The only thing that might be bad about Boomkin is its survivability in some matchups, but the thing is, if you're attacking a Moonkin, he's absolutely shitting on you with crowd control, with fast cast Cyclones, instant Starfires. Like, Boomkins are very strong right now, and I think they arguably have the best crowd control in the game with Cyclone. Fast cast Cyclone, high winds, like they're really good, and their damage is just unparalleled. Beast Mastery Hunter is something that I don't really fight that much. Okay, let's put that back. I feel like it's probably unparalleled, yeah, whatever. You know, sometimes I say words and it's the wrong thing to say, but it's all good. You all know what I meant. All right, so Beast Mastery Hunters. I'm going to put Beast Mastery Hunters at... I don't know why they wouldn't be good. I'm going to put them at B tier. Probably better than Frosty K. They still have good CC, good damage. I think they lost their tier, which is a huge damage nerf. And there's just better specs like Survival. Survival has definitely leveled up. I don't know what the heck's going on with Survival Hunters. I don't know if it's tier or they got some buffs, but they do absolute crazy damage, it feels like. Really hard to avoid. They have good CC. I think Survival has definitely leveled up to that kind of like A tier level. Marks Hunter, I haven't seen any Marks Hunters do that well either. Doesn't seem that popular. Survival seems better. Mark's Hunter is going to go down to B tier. Although it's a bit surprising to me because I feel like in this world of Wizardcraft we're living in, like half the games I play right now are just double caster. You'd think that Marks would actually do really well, but for some reason it doesn't. Maybe it's just still a little bit too squishy. Maybe with tier it'll get better, but for now I'm going to put it here. Enhancement Shaman. Enhancement Shaman is very good. It's very, very, very good. There's a part of me that wants to put it at S tier. Its damage right now is incredibly strong. It's got a solid survivability, I would say. Really, really good disruption. Good crowd control. But I think I'm going to put it at high A tier. I don't know. It's like it's either S tier, it's like low S tier or high A tier. I'm going to put it at high A tier for now. Okay, everyone's saying S. All right, fine. You know what? If you guys are all confident in that, I was going to put it at S, but I don't want you guys to get mad at me, but I guess I need to be a little bit bolder. We're going to put an enhance at S tier, okay? Ellie Shaman, I think, is a solid A tier. Still very similar to before. Lots of damage. I'm going to put it ahead of all that. Yeah, very strong right now. Ellie Shaman is also very good. Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage is probably the worst of the 3 mage specs at the moment. I think it still has some comps where it's decent. I'm not going to put it at C tier, but I do think it's like a B tier spec. I think it's okay. Fire Mage. Okay, so I would actually... prior to Fire Mage Ignite getting fixed, because it was actually bugged. So Fire Mage Ignite was bugged, where basically if you spread your Ignite with Fire Blast, it was getting twice the value from Glass Cannon, and you could do it again. So when you saw like those 200k ignites, it's because Ignite was getting built up, then spread, and then they were targeting a new person, spread it again with Fire Blast, targeting a new person, spreading it again. So I would say Fire was S tier, but I would put it at A tier now. I do think it's very strong. In my personal opinion, I also think Frost Mage is A tier, like very, very good. Very, very, very good. I think Mage is in a pretty good spot. The only downside to Fire Mage is it dies instantly to certain comps. Like, yeah, it dies instantly. It's very, very squishy, but it does a lot of damage. Frost is not A. You guys, I played Frost Mage yesterday. I'm telling you, it's A tier. I played Frost Mage yesterday. It's very good. All right, so a lot of people are telling me that Ellie is S tier. We'll put Ellie up in S tier. Okay? Everyone's telling me Ellie's S tier. It's a good point. It's World of Wizardcraft right now. Elemental Shaman basically works with every wizard. Literally Ellie Boomy, Ellie Mage, Ellie freaking Destro. Ellie works with everything. Okay? Speaking of S tier, we can just put Sub Rogue right up there. Sub Rogue is, I don't know what's going on with the Rogue, but Sub Rogues literally just one-shot you. They still have unbelievable control. Even though Blind got nerfed and all the rogues said that they were going to not be viable, they just kill you instantly. And Blind still feels very effective, so... I don't know what... Yo, sample size 1, thank you for the tier 1 subs. Somebody in my chat says sub is A/B. That is absolutely untrue. Sub Rogue is, Sub Rogue has so many escapes to survive. Sub Rogue is S tier. Like, it's crazy good. Moving forward, we have Ret Paladins. Ret Paladins, once again, remain to just be one of the most overpowered specs in the entire game. Their damage is absolutely ridiculous. They're just one-shotting everything. They can't die. Best spec in the game. All right? I'm joking. Just kidding, guys. Ret Paladins, they've fallen out of favor a little bit, but I still think that they're good. As much as people say Rets, like, suck, I still think they're, like, a solid A pick. I really do. I think they kind of struggle in the World of Wizardcraft, but I still do see, like, things like Ret Warrior, Resto Shaman do pretty well. All right, so I'm going to put Ret Paladin in A tier. I still think it's decent. Windwalker. Windwalker, I feel like nobody's playing Windwalker, but I kind of feel like Windwalker's actually good. Comps like Windwalker Boomkin, Windwalker Enhance, Windwalker, even Mage are pretty decent. Windwalker, Shadow Priest. So I'll definitely put it at A tier. I think it's really, really solid. I think it's kind of on like that Demon Hunter level, to be honest with you. So very close. Yeah, healer. Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest definitely A tier. We'll move it up here with the Wizards. Shadow Priest looking real solid, real nice right now. It's looking real solid. It's looking real nice. It's quite strong. I think in certain compositions, I feel like Resto Shaman Shadow Priest is actually really, really good right now. Resto Shaman Moonkin, Resto Shaman Shadow Priest, really, really, really strong. Paired with a melee or even another caster. Put Shadow at A+. I'll put Shadow at A+, okay? Just saying it's like borderline S tier, we'll put it at A+. And remember, guys, this is the most official and best, most up-to-date tier list, so don't forget that. Let's say Fury Warrior. I think Fury Warrior is surprisingly good. I don't really know what happened with them. I don't know if they got many changes. I feel like I'm not comfortable putting it at B tier. I actually think Fury might be up there at like A tier right now. It's a lot better than it used to be, for sure. It does... I swear sometimes I just die instantly, and if they have uptime on a target, the thing is, here's the thing with Fury. If Fury is getting kited, it's not that great because you don't have a high uptime on your MS, and it takes a little while to build up. But if you can actually stay on a target, like a Warlock, you just eat them alive. You literally just crush their souls. You devour them. And apparently the tier for Fury is really, really good. I'm actually going to put Fury like up here. There's a lot of A tier specs right now, which is really nice. I mean, I do feel like there's a lot of specs that are viable. Affliction Warlock, unfortunately, is just C. It's just not good. It's one of the few casters that actually sucks. It's really unfortunate, too, because I feel like Affliction Warlock, even in, like, Wizard matchups, sucks. You would kind of think in, like, a Wizard meta, Affliction would thrive, because it has more rot, but it actually just has less rot than a lot of casters. Like, there's nothing good about Affliction, except Double Affliction. Double Affliction is the only good Affliction comp, I swear. Other than that, it is absolute garbanzo beans. It takes like a perfect circumstance, a perfect storm for Affliction to be good, and unfortunately it just doesn't happen that often. It just gets screwed by Dispel way too much. Destruction Warlock, S tier instantly. Destruction Warlock is extremely good. Even after the nerfs, it is just fucking crazy. The damage is very, 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 very good. Destro Warlock might be the best caster. I don't know. It's debatable. I feel like I'm not sure which one's the best. But yeah, Destro Warlock just feels like it has a very well-rounded kit. It has lots of damage, great survivability. It's hard to shut down. Lots of CC. Very strong. Demo Warlock, I don't know where exactly Demo Warlock should go. I feel like a lot of Warlocks are not playing Demo, but I think it's really good. I think it's really, really, really good. I might even put it above Shadow Priest for high A. It could be S tier too. All right, S tier it is. Demo's going up in the S tier. Very strong. With different wizard comps, like having that Mortal Strike effect, even though, you know, it got nerfed, I feel like it's still really, really good. Super good. I want to play some. I want to play some Demo Frostmage. I feel like it's good. All right, next up, we have Assassination. Assassination just seems decent, but it just seems way worse than Sub. So I wouldn't definitely not put it at S tier. Put it at like low A tier probably. Doesn't seem like it has that many. I haven't really played it that much. Most rogues are opting to go for subtlety. I feel like, yeah, I think low A tier is probably fine. Could be B tier even maybe. Put it at low A. We'll put it at the bottom of A tier right now. Arms Warrior. I think Arms Warrior is pretty good. I think about Arms Warrior. Not exactly sure. I think it's A tier. Do we think it's better than Fury? I'm actually not sure about that. Is Arms better than Fury? It's probably matchup dependent. Slightly better than Fury at the moment. It's worse than Fury. I think it's matchup dependent. Like, if you have limited uptime, Arms Warrior is better. It's more bursty, and you can apply your Mortal Strike effect right away. If you have high uptime, I feel like Fury's better. So that's what I would say between these two specs. Next up, we have the Outlaw Rogue. Outlaw Rogue seems kind of okay. I don't know. I don't really fight it that often. I'm just going to put it at B tier for now. You're still a rogue. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still a rogue. You have all that rogue CC and control and all that good stuff. Oh, you're dead. Nice, dude. All right, guys, so back to the tier list. That one definitely solidifies a lot of what we're saying. All right, so yeah, we're going to put Boomkins right here. All right. Boomkin is where it belongs now. All right, so let's get into the healers. We can continue this. Resto Shaman. Let's start with Resto Shaman. I think Resto Shaman is definitely up there. It's super good in the wizard comps. I would put it at A. Definitely at least A, 100%. Holy Paladin. Haven't seen anybody really do well with Holy Paladin so far. I don't think there's a lot of comps for it. I think it probably goes out of mana really quick in comparison to a lot of healers. There might be a few comps that if you play extremely well, it could be decent, but I'm going to put it at like a B tier. Maybe even C tier, to be honest with you. Low B. Resto Druid also seems pretty decent at the moment. I think you have pretty good longevity and actually decent control. So I've been playing against a decent amount of like Resto Druid, Sub-Rogue, Destro Warlock. And it actually feels like for the first time, Resto Druids can actually like go in and get stuns and CC a little bit when partnered with a Destro and a Rogue. So I don't know if it's just those classes that specifically enable them, but I also feel like they're pretty decent in the Wizard matchups if they can go back and drink and stuff. So I'm going to put Resto Druid at A tier. Preservation Evoker. To be fair, I've only really fought Preservation Evokers playing like Boomkin, Prez, Demon Hunter, and Ellie. And it seemed really good every time I played against it. And it's also early in the season, so a lot of those Evokers might still be using their 2-set. If they lose it, it might go down from A tier, but for now, I think they're pretty solid healers. Mistweaver Monks, I think are going to go up there into S tier. They just have the most saves of any healers. They just have so many cooldowns they can rotate through. They're super mana efficient. Just overall really solid. They work with a lot of different comps. Disc is another one that is absolutely S tier right now. Same thing, lots of cooldowns that they can rotate through, lots of mitigation. They're very mana efficient. They have good throughput. They basically have the best of everything, right? This priests are very strong. And then Holy Priest did get some buffs. I'm not exactly sure where to put them right now. I think I'll put them at A tier. I'll put them at A tier. So I would say right now, Holy Paladin is the worst healer in the game. Disc and Mistweaver are the best healers in the game. And then like Holy Priest, Prez Evoker, and Resto Druid are kind of solid smack dab in the middle. And this is the new official tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm curious if anyone disagrees with anything that I have said here. I feel like this is very reasonable. I don't think these are like any crazy takes or anything like that. I think this is looking really solid.